our goal in this case should be to deal with the floods, right? Because we aren't playing second, first to third in, we're playing fourth in. The goal of the first to third in is to clear the site most of the time. The goal of typically the third to fifth in is going to be dealing with the flood or the rotators. I want all of your attention focused on this because you end up pulling out your knife and you feel like the site isn't that much of a threat and you're kind of hoping that the smokes will cover the space. That is a little bit scary if you were to do this entire sequence with gun out, but had like a focus on trying to make sure that you punish any player running through the smoke. This would be slightly better. And this is kind of what happens when this guy runs through anyways. Just be a bit more careful, I think, with that, because your goal, if you're third, fourth, or fifth in on the site exec, is to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen, they don't get value. Starting point, I think, will just be kind of revisiting on the Clove. The reason why we were trying to play the Clove in the first place was to isolate some of the mechanical side of things and the scaling side of things. How do you think that's going?
I think it's helped immensely. I feel far more confident in my fights, and it's also hardwired me to do the one brain cell rotate. I think you'll see in the VOD as well that like I'm getting a lot of value out of doing it. So I think it's very, very good.
Gotcha. Well, let's take a look at how the Clove specific stuff looked. I'm going to be looking at this game in particular from the lens of kind of just what we were hoping to work on. A couple mechanical things from last week. So we were pre-aiming slightly too deep, and then we ran through a couple drills on doing stuff like that. And then I believe for the angle holding thing, just getting one going wider. So I'll see if we see any situations like that. I think that'd be interesting. And then attack, making sure that we are scaling a little bit better. So the peeking and crosshair placement where you're scaling into sight would be something to keep in mind. And then for defense, ass rotating. So let's see what that looks like here. Oh, B-split. Okay, I'm down. Okay. Cat smoke. Fortunately, the trade is a little bit slower. Let's go back and take a look at the crosshair placement and the peeking when scaling. So kind of come out here holding cat smoke. Technically, we would actually hold the right side here to a small detail. Realistically, there's actually zero timing that they could go for this play anyways, so it's not that important. Coming out for this pre-aim here, we do end up pre-aiming slightly too deep. This is kind of hard to tell because the gun duel just happened, so you would have to assume whether or not they're standing in the open or if they're on pizza side. But traditionally, when you clear mid as if you're contacting it, you slice it this first and then you kind of go here. So in terms of pre-aim, if instinctually I was just hearing the noise, it would probably be for this one. So when we come out here, you can see our crosshair placement doesn't actually account for that. There's two things here that playing into the part of the pre-aim. One is just the actual like habit. For me, when I clear mid, I just always clear pizza next. But two, you could know how to pre-aim this if we checked minimap first. So this could just be minimap awareness. Both are potential solutions here, but what we'd want to see is better pre-aim. That would hopefully get this kill a little bit quicker. In terms of the actual ongoing gun duel, that's less of what I'm looking at here. So we won't hang up too much on that. Up the heel, looks like we will speed up. Okay. Smoke spawn. Yeah, Killjoy is gonna be back sights. 2 spawn.
Yeah.
Wow. That guy just got ran down.
I can't believe it can kill me.
Yeah, that typical Killjoy player. This is interesting. So this isn't actually the focus of what we're looking at, but it's part of scaling. So I'll point it out here. But what I want you to notice here is how our eyeballs actually don't look up at the minimap enough during this exchange here. It's like we're scaling sight here, we're just looking at crosshair the whole time. And we're in the gun duel, which is good, but one of the skills that you need to develop when you're scaling is to mix and match the minimap awareness here. But I would expect you to at least at some point during this exchange see the 2 question marks. That's information that could be useful later in the post plan or something like that. And when you're playing duelist or when you're playing second in or something like that, it's oftentimes we miss this info and your teammates won't communicate it. So as an initiator, you probably don't have that problem because like you're probably going to be third or fourth in pretty frequently, or you're just exiting drone and you have the time to look at minimap and you're getting the info off of your drone yourself. So it makes sense that this is a habit or a skill that you haven't developed as much. So that's just something I wanted to briefly point out because it does relate to the whole scaling piece. In terms of actually scaling on site here, I don't think we got contact on the Killjoy at all this round. I think we just saw the alarm bot and the molly. So scaling onto site here, I would like to see a couple of Deddy peeks, maybe Deddy peeking the right side or left side of this box or side of this doorway here, or maybe even on the side of this other box, like this box here.
Yeah, I definitely rushed these because I was trying to make sure he still had some of the heal.
The heal, yeah. I definitely see the speed up here. it makes sense given the specific context on the heal. I would just be careful on if it becomes too much of a habit. So I'll keep an eye out for that for future rounds as well. So we're 1 HP. Let's see. So the play close here. This is probably fine. I will say I have a bias for you to play a bit forward here. So if we get this kill, if you do check minimap here, Uranus playing Giraffe. So if I have teammate up, they're playing forward post plant, which means ideally we're playing to support them either by holding the smoke here or by jiggling their market here, or just getting ready to holding the spawn smoke here and getting ready to swing off of them. Now you could argue your 1 HP is better for you to play here, but we should, in my opinion, at least look for the opportunity. Now I do like that you're at the very least positioned here compared to falling all the way back site, so I do think that is good. But if you recall, one of the notes from last time was something about passive post plants. Yeah, attack, positioning, and post plants were passive. This was related to the just player breakdown too. So a couple of weeks ago, you did position a bit more aggressively here by not going all the way back to back site, but we could have potentially helped Irena slightly more. And you could argue it's just a terrible play to do so, but I want you to see it here, just in case. See what ends up happening though.
I'm one.
I'm darting. Ready to spam?
This guy said get ready to spam on pistol. Respect.
With my classic, yeah.
Yeah. But you did capitalize off of the dart well, so that's good. I'm trying to look at your minimap here. Or your eyes, yeah. You're looking at minimap pretty frequently here, which is good. Especially off of the dart. Yeah. Okay. So we did end up actually capitalizing off of some contact there, so that's definitely better than the alternative of just hitting backside the whole post plant, so that's very good. Just a couple more opportunities you could potentially see there. Let's see the actual scaling piece. Go team go. Okay. So we immediately went into smoke menu, which arguably is fine because you do want to get your smokes out pretty quickly. When I remember watching, I believe Note when he was playing his Clove, he would just get his smokes out early so he could play gun out for the rest of the round. In this case here, I think it probably makes a lot of sense for you to make sure B main is fully clear before you pull out smoke menu instead of just going for the quick jiggle pre-fire. Let's see what happens though. Smoke. Let's see. So scaling wise, we're kind of going for the decay. I think the decay is fine here. Okay, we're just looking for the timing here. Okay, so we aren't actually hunting for a duel, it looks like, and this is probably just because we are technically like third or fourth in here. These guys are all in front of us. If you're trying to be second or third in, it'd be really important that your spacing is a little bit better, but we're kind of opting for the decay. When I'm reviewing Note, which for those watching that don't know who this is the previous rank 1 player. I believe he's currently rank 2, Clove main. He pretty much never uses his decay because he's prioritizing the spacing and his timing to be second. In this case, we do use the decay, which is a lot more like Xander. Xander is very good, in my opinion, playing the site hit more of like a third, fourth in type of guy and using his decay to like stall space or in this case like zoning stairs. Sometimes he'll use it in the smokes. Both playstyles are viable. I just want you to also be aware of the two. Given that we are fourth in here and we're breaking the turret, our goal technically in this case should be to deal with the floods, right? Because we aren't playing second, first to third in, we're playing fourth in. The goal of the first to third in is to clear the site most of the time. The goal of typically the third to fifth in is going to be dealing with the flood or the rotators. So in this case here, I want all of your attention focused on this. It seems like you're somewhat aware of it because you end up pulling out your knife and you feel like the site isn't that much of a threat and you're kind of hoping that the smokes will cover the space. That to me is a little bit scary. I think if you were to do this entire sequence with gun out, but have like a focus on trying to make sure that you punish any player running through the smoke, this would be slightly better. And this is kind of what happens when this guy runs through anyways, but just be a bit more careful, I think, with that, because your goal, if you're third, fourth, or fifth in on the site exec, is to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen. They don't get value. Does that make sense?
Yep, of course.
Okay. So, obviously round 2, nothing too crazy. This guy's on site. There you go, he dies, and we should be able to just win this. Last one spawn. Yeah, at some point we'll get this kill. Okay, good team, go. Looks like we're committing the smoke. You're not a smokes player, so this feedback isn't specifically for you, it's more so for chat. So we're doing the smoke like this. There's a couple things people need to know about this mid smoke. Standard is this. Standard smoke here is bad because, yeah. They can jump on this box, see catwalk. Whereas if you do it how Pixel is doing it, where it's in the middle like this, gap no longer exists. The problem with this one is it gives them a bit more space to work with walking out. So the best solution I've seen is not to do either, but actually bias it towards the first one, but then move it more left. Something like this. Now gap no longer exists, and they also don't have as much space to work with. So that's not for you specifically, but just for anyone playing Clove or Omen or whatever. It's a good way to fix that smoke. Let's see here. Okay, so we unfortunately don't end up getting the trade. I want to see that one more time. Yeah, that's a really good peek there. We had no unnecessary movement after, and we also went for the micro without strafing again. So that was a good peek. Unfortunately, we just don't get it on the kill, but that was a clean technique. Let's see how we scale Cat. Should be able to cross this before the smoke fades. I would like to see you clear these boxes just in case, but it's pretty unlikely here.
Yep.
And just clear this left side here. So we're making a lot of predictions similar to, I think last time we were playing the Sova or the Fade, if we aren't clearing some angles, which we don't get punished for it. It's going to be pretty rare for us to get punished for it here. But again, I'm looking at scaling and stuff like that, so I'm kind of being a stickler for it. Let's go back here. We were pretty thorough on this first part here, and then we kind of got lazy at the door, right? So jiggle there, and then we kind of got lazy here. This is actually the biggest threat when you're coming tree. This and the up-down angle here. So just keep that in mind going forward. What that might look like instead, if you wanted to scale Cat, I'll just go through the whole sequence. Slice, walk up, slice, walk up, trace, 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 slice, back up, slice. You could jiggle this, I jiggle this. And then I kind of trace this, come out here and Daddy peek the corner. And from here, personally, I like to jiggle all of these because this angle here is crazy.
Yep.
It's pretty much the guy close here gets the kill, and it's the same line from this guy far. So it's really hard to pre-aim, and it's really easy for defenders. So being thorough on that angle is good. Also, because sometimes people will play this. So just for future reference, we are in tree. At this point, we probably speed up with the smoke.
Can you smoke
Yeah,
closer?
amen.
Yep. But thankfully, our teammate has our cover. The team go.
Dead.
Okay, so we get on site here. Let's take a look back at our crosshair really quickly.
Can you smoke
Yeah,
closer?
amen.
Okay, so we look here. Crosshair is focused on the smoke flood here. Spam that guy out.
Dead.
And then we're going in the site. We're looking for Heaven Flood instead of potential site player. But we did kind of skip a couple site angles here, which the read does make sense given that there's a tree player. We killed a main player. Player was spotted. Like contextually, it makes sense for us to not pre-aim anything else. But yeah, let's see. Next. I skipped the pre-round. One sec. So instinctual for me to skip pre-rounds.
I think just plays faster.
Yeah, I think just kind of
Let's
central.
go. I'm gonna ship money, so just take it. Probably take it.
Okay, fast A.
Let's do all this together. Maybe just let him work.
Oh, let's see it.
Starting.
Just gonna die. This is gonna be really fucking.
Okay, so it's a good pre-fire in this angle. We didn't clear this right side here, which is a little bit scary because they have the double agents here. So that's definitely something to keep out for.
Ignore him.
Look, smoke.
He's so fast.
He is quick. It's because we went for the orb, I think. At least we tapped it. No, we didn't. Someone else tapped the orb. We kind of just tapped. That's what it was.
Ignore him.
Yeah, we had that slight bit of downtime. He's probably thinking we were just running it down.
Hold on.
My jet is so fast.
Yeah, that spacing timing difference is like when you watch Note or Xander or like, you know, any of these high Clove players, they don't have that downtime. Because honestly, they kind of just play with a bit more disrespect. Like once they clear main, they're kind of just like, fuck it, send the smokes. So that like little downtime in Cubby here doesn't really exist. But
My jet is so fast.
that's also not one of our focuses here. We don't really care too much about that.
I'm gonna be
On the
backside.
backside. Okay, let's
Okay,
go.
okay. On. Okay, we have cheats, I'm down.
Seven market.
Wow, that's actually crazy you got that. Overall good rounds. Keep going. Okay. There's our site. Okay, here. One site, one spawn. Wait for the switch.
Oh, you
Oh,
So this one's always hard to scale with. Go back and take a look at this. I think the decay makes sense because we're playing like clumped exec, like we don't have the entry dash. I would have liked for us to look left there. Sometimes people will be on the ledge and then peek late. You could also check right side here, logs. I would say clearing one of those since we are kind of first or second entry here. Our role is a little bit different than what we saw on pistol round. We gotta make sure that we're clearing left, logs, all that stuff rather than actually securing the smokes. So focus is a little bit different here. In our case here, we're prioritizing the door close because I think we recognize no one else was doing it. So from here, we kind of just need to know how to kind of take these fights, or maybe after you close the door, you try to come back on this side to get a bit more distance. But I just know for my experience, a lot of these fights here feel a bit scary. And that's kind of what we get punished for here. Because we did a slice actually instead of jiggling. Nice shot by him. Slicing close wall is going to be pretty hard, so just keep that in mind. Normally I just opt for the jiggle there. But recapping this one, it seems like mechanically when we're scaling, we need to identify what our job is. So when scaling, we need to identify what our job is. I'm just gonna loosely categorize this as first to third in versus third to fifth in. And this typically is going to be clearing angles and looking for trades, whereas third to fifth in typically is holding the smokes / flood and killing rotators. Generally, that's what the formula is.
And I'm very not used to being first in without like knowing exactly what my dart's gonna scan and stuff, so yeah.
That's definitely one of those skills that's going to be underdeveloped and exposed sometimes when you play the Clove or Duelist roles.
I just need somebody to wind this here, guys, and that would be fine.
Yeah, let's see.
I have to insta-drop smokes, we're so fast. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to insta-drop
insta dropping is fine. It's a bit, it's not ideal, but it is fine technically. And what you'll notice here, this happened to me when I was learning smokes. Every time I would throw smokes, I would kind of just stand still. But the way I leveled up my Omen specifically is I would just like throw smokes as I was moving. It's actually a little bit easier to do with Clove. But yeah, just make sure you're going forward. And sure, it's risky if they peek you, but just to prioritize better spacing there. Okay, so Jet's pretty much cleared left. I would expect us to pre-aim somewhere on the right here, like in this box. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. We do go hard stairs, which makes sense. Logs technically I don't think was cleared, but you do have the quick spacing on this trade. So that's good.
I'm clear
Sight.
Come plant.
Kill this idiot. Oof. Actually a good clear. Obviously the crosshair placement and the crouch spray could have been a little bit better.
Come plant.
This is a small thing. Maybe it looks like we were looking for the Killjoy as well, but just for chat, because I think you already know this. When you're spraying, you don't want to crouch and then spray because your crosshair gets pulled down. So headshot level then becomes chest level. So the way to accommodate this is shoot and then crouch so that your crouch helps you pull down your crosshair on the spray control rather than pulling down your crosshair before the bullets come out. I think you're aware of this. I just want to highlight it more for chat. And we do see that here. Obviously the ult. Oh shit. This is a good peek. Yeah, that looks fine. Let's go take a look. Scaling, clear main, smokes out, smoke. Crosshair placement coming out. Looks like we have minimap info. I want to check if we did look at minimap to see these players. Yeah, player cam. We're obviously gonna see the smokes here. Okay. I think we might have looked minimap. Yeah, we did. So we see the 3 here. So then our preem should be for Hell and Dice. And we did kind of opt to go a bit higher because I think we're worried about the Heaven Smoke. That's definitely something to think about. Our smoke should be covering this, which means, you know, we shouldn't have to preem that. That's probably more of a habit thing rather than anything. But if your preem was slightly better on this Dice player, you probably would have gotten this kill. And we did have the info from the minimap because you did look. So that is a preem thing for sure. And then we're still looking at the Heaven Smoke actually. Yeah, that's interesting. Because if you did want to look at the Heaven Smoke, you would look on this side here, not here. Because no one's going to W peek that. But yeah, let's keep going. Cancel. Okay. Don't care too much about these angle clears. Just want to see the actual site hit.
Yeah, he's gonna get off.
Probably be here. I think our chamber should block away.
He's on the right. Free kill.
Damn, he's speed.
Well played by him.
One mark.
It's hard to rush that fight. Because if you run at him, he's going to kill you, so that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
The only main thing I wanted to point out this round is the actual scaling at the start here. If you are going to pre-aim heaven, right side smoke, otherwise have better pre-aim for the dice player. Seems to be a common thing with the smokes. I know that's something we talked about last week. Angle holding a smoke is probably different than picking a smoke. It seems like we haven't developed the second part yet. Okay. So let's see. I skipped the pre-on, whatever. That's got God spam.
Double towards B.
Can you smoke CT off?
Give me 2 seconds. Oh.
Okay, so the play itself
Can you smoke CT off?
isn't necessarily bad. It's just our routing here. So I guess this kind of goes into scaling.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't just walk pizza.
Both are realistically good. It is hard to take the market fight from this close wall. Obviously because of this crossfire, but also from the close wall too. What I'm kind of also curious on is the shift peek. It looks like you feel like you have a timing, which technically you do.
Yeah, I know he's not looking at me.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's interesting.
so tough.
Overall attack does look better for sure. Definitely scaling is where we could use some. That was the main focus for today when we were reviewing it. There's still things that we could improve on for sure. So the other thing I'll add to this is if you are holding smokes, make sure to hold the edge of them. And then going for trades, it's typically a good idea to look at minimap very briefly to get the preem down. Other than that, I don't really care too much about the club specific stuff. Let's take a look at defense. Dodge dart here, it's pretty good. I like pizza.
Yeah,
We have B line, nothing spotted A. Okay, there's B. Good rotate. Here we go. We get mollied. Okay, so there, we should technically be able to make it out of the smoke here. Let's see why we didn't.
Yeah, I think I'm just slow to smoke it.
Yeah, slightly slowed the rotate as
A
well.
lot more.
And we didn't commit because of the random blind, it looks like.
Everybody but it.
We did get the kill. I'm surprised they didn't, that might be a bug. I saw the UI thing, but surprised they didn't smoke this. Do they not have smokes? No, he died. Definitely could rotate slightly faster. I don't know if it would have made a difference. We probably just would have been in front of the molly and then shooting the random blind, but we could have been there slightly quicker.
Yep.
Well, can you give us over?
Yeah, I got it.
Other
Last
one.
B.
Okay, let's see if we make it through here. We do. It's good. That guy is a fucking idiot.
I don't know what that guy's doing.
Yo, let me jump spot so I can get spammed. He got his 2 teammates killed too. Okay, this round's over. Let's see the fight.
Both on the right, both on the right.
Okay, so same thing with the preem at the very, very end. We're still going very deep on the preem here. Notice how far it is.
Yeah.
It could look something like this. You get this kill, come back, and then just preem a bit more like even rather than like committing to the box. Because sure, he could have been at the box or he could be here, but it's very easily that they can just swing back out. So typically you don't aim super deep on the angle that you're actually predicting here, but it's just to go in the middle and then adjust if needed. So let's keep going.
Oh, never mind, you have a guardian. Alright.
It's a start.
Hey, fast. He's smoking back.
Okay, rotate, go team go, smoke main, and out heaven. This is good. Yeah. Yeah, this was a good fast rotate. Let's take a look at the actual fight. This is an ideal fast rotate though. I see. It's the smoke spam. Smoke spam's fucking us over.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done it.
So if we weren't going for smoke spam, crosshair would be here or here, holding the edge. If that was the case, you probably kill at least one of them. If you're holding here, this guy dies. If you're holding here, this guy dies. So the smoke spam kind of just fucked us over a little bit.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised they came out that fast after 2 guys died.
Yeah, maybe they would have canceled. I definitely feel that. And drone B looks like a mid B attempt.
For the wide.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good slice. Let's take a look at it one more time.
For the wide swing.
I think we did a slight step after. But it was a good micro. Yeah, slight step after, but
Smoke me, man.
it did end up working out for us.
Wait, no,
Oh
no.
shit, there's another guy.
Yeah, the smoke B main, and I was like, my brain shut off.
Should be able to get this kill. Oh no, he's playing smart now. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, he was giving it to us for a second.
I was hoping he would.
Start mid 3, I'm down for mid 3.
Spike down A.
Spike down.
Okay, decided to take the space because we still have the main control. I think this is fine.
Dart in mid.
Crosshair placement looks acceptable. Take a look at it one more time. Yeah, we're not pre-aiming too deep, which is good.
Dart flash, dart flash.
Left side, one left side. It's on the left.
That's a good peek here.
Left side, one left side.
Take a look at it one more time. So we did do that slight smooth after, which is something that we didn't do on the other peak, where we sliced and stopped. This one we're slicing and then still taking a step out. But I do like that little crouch bob. I think it's acceptable. I don't think the movement in this case is hindering your kill here.
Enemy remaining. Spike down A.
So I'd give that as acceptable for sure. So despite the fast rotate not being as quick as it could be, we still made it, which is good. We didn't make it on pistol, but we've made it on the other gun round so far. And we're getting a lot of value out of it. And this is why this playstyle works so well in ranked. All they've done really is, for the most part, rush A or rush B, aside from like maybe 2 rounds where they've hooked down a mid. Oh wow, we didn't smoke for ourselves. Okay, so this peak, this slice here was actually not ideal. We did get the kill, but what you'll notice again is that little slight movement. So,
Yeah, I hesitate a little bit.
yeah, just really quickly, that small step there. Ideally, you do slice it and just shoot the guy.
Yeah.
That's a good adjustment. What the fuck?
I actually don't know where I died from there.
Was that Rosa? Or was that top mid?
I don't know.
I didn't even fucking know. That's gotta be top mid. Oh shit, we're dead. Rip.
Yeah, that was really tough.
But if you don't insta pop your ult, do you dodge the omen blind? Like right here?
Yeah, I would have.
Damn. He got good timing on that.
Side A1. For jet.
Yeah, we could probably be rotating a little bit quicker here. Or at least get off of this angle. At this point, if he's not droning, he's not gonna drone.
Maybe walking up somewhere.
And we get A contact there, so my immediate instinct at this point is to just knife out rotate A. But we still stay for a little bit,
Jet.
respecting our teammates holding the A space. So,
Chill,
You
chill.
have no smoke.
Oh, wait, you
no
have
smoke.
ups.
What?
well, I don't even know what's going on. Yeah, I would have liked to see us rotate A after that A contact.
Three,
Now
three,
we're
three,
gonna have
three.
A site,
Drone? I'm sorry.
which we're putting too much reliance, I think, on our Reyna there. I think
Yeah.
one brain cell rotate like the rest of the game, it would have been good.
Good push heaven. Good push heaven.
See how this goes. Okay, so pre-aim, we're going deep because of the silver dart scan.
Outside.
That does happen.
Good push heaven. Good push heaven.
Yeah, we should start looking at the other players here. It is understandable. I've done that as well. It's just that tendency
Last word
coming up.
switch.
Yeah, last one should be Jen.
Play together.
Oh, is he hell now? Oh, we should win this.
Stuck tower, Jen.
No way we lose.
Not gonna go good.
Okay, so let's kind of summarize. Defense looks good because we're playing fast rotate. Defense looks good. We got quite a bit of value playing fast rotate. The other thing was we could fast rotate slightly faster still, but that's okay. And more so mechanically, this is where I want you to kind of recall some things from attack and defense that kind of stood out to you just for memory purposes. The decision-making stuff's less important to me, so let's start with the mechanics.
Yeah, the pre-aims for when there are smokes down is definitely the thing that I'm lacking the least in. Then the other big thing is noticing that difference between first and third and fifth in. Those are the 2 biggest things I've noticed. And then I think my defense rotates would be faster if I didn't have to worry about the smoke, and I'm just slow on that because I don't have a lot of reps. So that'll be something that comes with a little bit more time, I think. And then,
Yeah, I won't add that.
yeah, that's probably just a time thing. I obviously still need to be more disciplined with the peaks all the time. I find it easy in some scenarios, but if my attention gets divided, it definitely suffers. So hopefully that gets to the point where it's just always 100% natural all the time.
Can you be a bit more clear on what you mean with the discipline with the peaks? I feel like there's a couple things that come to mind for me with this, and I'm not sure which one you're referencing or if you're referencing like kind of all the details here.
Yeah, I was kind of referencing all the details. Pre-aim is the one that suffers the most because I'll fall back to the habit of just going like deep on what the angle is. And I think most of the time, like the stop on the peak happens more often than not now. I think that's probably the biggest thing is that the pre-aim suffers the most if I get my attention split up.
I think that is pretty clear. Let's kind of set some priorities for this upcoming week on what to improve on. What do you think makes the most sense? Like out of these lists here, like what would be priority number 1, priority number 2, and priority number 3? Let's just do 3.
So priority 3 is the defense rotate timing still. I think that is probably that thing's close enough, you know, and you know, more often than not it's been working out, but it could still be better, of course. I'm not sure which one's more important here. I don't know if the first and third / third and fifth in is more important or the pre-aim stuff, because I feel like I've worked a lot on the pre-aim stuff, and when it's at the forefront of my mind, it works out, and it is, you know, what it should be. And then the first and third versus the third and fifth in is something that is not been on my mind, so that's like fresh. So maybe that should be the priority.
Okay, let's do it that way.
And
then.
that'll also kind of come into it'll also work on that second item a little bit as well, since it's so much clearing.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Let's do this for next week. It's going to be a bit redundant, but I would like to see a VOD next week where you're prioritizing specifically the thing on scaling on attack. And it's gonna be, I don't like to do this, but I would like to look at a VOD next week where I'm hearing you say, I'm in group A or I'm in group B. So I understand where your mindset is to see how you're implementing, whether or not you're holding the smokes and the floods or you're trying to clear angles and look for trades.
All right, sounds good.
Cool. Pretty quick one today, which is not normal for me because I normally tend to ramble. Alrighty, I will leave it at that then. Let's check back in next week and see how we're doing on the attack half specifically.
Alrighty.
You take care, have a good week, and reach out if you have any questions.
Sure thing. You as well.
Cool. Peace.
Bye.